Who is this audacious young Australian who dared to infiltrate the secrets of the United Nations? Today, we're peeling back the layers of a story that's as unsettling as it is remarkable. It's the tale of Jackson Henry, an 18-year-old prodigy whose cyber escapade has sent shockwaves through the corridors of global power. Jackson Henry isn't your average teenager. Born in Melbourne, Australia, he quickly emerged as a prodigy in the world of coding. His bedroom, cluttered with computers and gadgets, became his lab. Here, he delved deep into the intricacies of cybersecurity, mastering skills that even experts would envy. Jackson wasn't the type to flaunt his abilities at school or seek validation on social media. He was a silent observer, analyzing world events with a critical eye. His parents, both academics, instilled in him a sense of curiosity and a passion for global issues. It was this unique upbringing that shaped his perspective on the world, pushing him beyond the boundaries of typical teenage endeavors. Jackson's journey into the digital world was more than just a hobby. It was a mission, driven by a desire to make an impact. Contrary to the stereotype of hackers as isolated figures, Jackson was deeply engaged with the world around him. He participated in online forums, debating global politics and ethics. His arguments were always insightful, hinting at a maturity beyond his years. His teachers often noted his exceptional abilities in technology and critical thinking, but they also observed his growing disillusionment with global institutions. Jackson's classmates saw him as a genius, often turning to him for help with their tech troubles. What they didn't see was his growing frustration with the state of the world. This frustration, coupled with his exceptional skills, set the stage for a dramatic turn of events. Jackson was about to step out of the shadows, challenging one of the world's most powerful organizations. Jackson's motive for hacking the United Nations stemmed from a deep-seated sense of injustice. He watched news reports of conflicts and crisis, growing increasingly frustrated with what he saw as the UN's inaction. To him, the organization represented a failed promise, a bureaucratic behemoth more concerned with procedure than progress. Jackson's motive wasn't for personal gain or notoriety. It was a call to action, a bid to shake the foundations of an institution he believed was failing the very people it vowed to protect. His hack wasn't just about breaching a barrier, it was about sending a message, loud and clear. For Jackson, the UN was a symbol of global power dynamics, where the voices of the powerless were often drowned out. He saw the organization as detached from the realities on the ground, bound by red tape and political maneuvering. His decision to hack into their systems was a calculated one. He wanted to expose what he believed were hidden truths, to hold the powerful accountable. His motivation was not rooted in a desire to cause harm, but to ignite a conversation about transparency and accountability. This wasn't a reckless act of rebellion. It was a deliberate, thought-out plan to challenge the status quo. Jackson's approach to hacking the UN was methodical and precise. He spent months researching the organization's infrastructure, identifying potential vulnerabilities. He employed a mix of social engineering tactics and advanced coding skills to gain access. Jackson meticulously mapped out the UN's network, understanding its complexities and weaknesses. His strategy was not about brute force. It was about finesse, finding that one crack in the armor. He used a combination of custom-developed software and existing hacking tools, adapting them to fit his specific target. Once inside the UN system, Jackson treaded carefully. He navigated through layers of security, ensuring not to trigger any alarms. His movement within the network was like a shadow, silent and unnoticed. He gathered information, sifting through documents and communications. But Jackson's intent was not to destroy or disrupt. He aimed to gather evidence, to build a case against what he saw as the UN's shortcomings. His method was akin to a detective piecing together clues, constructing a narrative that he believed the world needed to hear. His steps were calculated, each move bringing him closer to his objective. The public reaction to Jackson's hack was a whirlwind of emotions. News of the breach spread like wildfire, sparking debates and discussions across the globe. Some hailed him as a hero, a young David standing up to the Goliath of international politics. They admired his courage and skill, seeing him as a symbol of a generation unwilling to accept the status quo. Others, however, were alarmed. The ease with which a teenager had penetrated a global institution raised serious questions about cybersecurity. People began to question the safety of their personal information, the integrity of international organizations, and the potential for chaos. The debate raged on social media, in newsrooms, and around dinner tables. Opinions were polarized, with some advocating for leniency due to his age and intentions, while others demanded strict punishment. Jackson had started a conversation, but it was one with many layers. His actions had opened a Pandora's box of ethical, legal, and security dilemmas. The public was left grappling with a complex web of questions. Was Jackson a vigilante fighting for transparency, or had he crossed a line, endangering global stability? His hack was not just a breach of security, it was a catalyst for a broader debate on the role of technology in modern society. In the aftermath of the hack, legal actions were swift. Australian authorities, cooperating with international agencies, launched a full-scale investigation. Jackson faced a slew of charges, ranging from unauthorized access to computer data to breach of international cybersecurity laws. His case quickly became a focal point in discussions about cybercrime, raising questions about jurisdiction and the adequacy of existing laws. The legal proceedings were complex, navigating the murky waters of international law and crime. Jackson's trial was a spectacle, drawing media attention from around the world. Legal experts debate the implications of his actions, while cybersecurity professionals analyze the technical aspects of the breach. The courtroom became a battleground for larger issues surrounding rights and the responsibilities of global institutions. Jackson's defense argued that his actions, while illegal, were motivated by a desire to highlight critical issues. The prosecution, however, maintained that his breach constituted a serious threat to international security. The legal battle over Jackson's fate was not just about one teenager's actions, it was about defining the boundaries of cyber activism in an increasingly connected world. In the wake of the hack, the United Nations was forced to confront its vulnerabilities. They undertook a comprehensive overhaul of their cybersecurity protocols, acknowledging the need for stronger measures. The incident served as a wake-up call, not just for the UN, but for organizations worldwide. It highlighted the growing need for robust defenses in an era where cyber threats are increasingly sophisticated. The UN's response was a testament to the changing landscape of global security, where fortresses are as crucial as physical ones. For Jackson, the aftermath was a mix of consequences and opportunities. While facing potential incarceration, he also became a subject of interest for cybersecurity firms. His skills, once used to challenge authority, were now in high demand. Jackson's future hung in the balance, a stark reminder of the fine line between genius and illegality. His actions had sparked a global dialogue, pushing cybersecurity to the forefront of international discourse. The story of Jackson Henry was more than a tale of a teenager against a global powerhouse. It was a narrative about the power of technology, the complexities of modern governance, and the evolving nature of activism in this age. Now we're left pondering the broader implications of his actions. In a world where digital prowess can tilt the scales of power, where do we draw the line between activism and anarchy? How do we balance the pursuit of justice with the rule of law in the technological realm? Jackson's story is not just a cautionary tale, it's a mirror reflecting our own struggles with technology, power, and morality.